We are back with Dr. Lora Chamberlain of Cook County and also Bill Morton, president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, who also worked at the Cook County Board of Election. Dr. Lora, you were talking about collaborating with community organizations to achieve a clean count.
Yes. So finally, this year, Public Citizen and Common Cause have become more interested in that second part. So everybody's League of Women Voters, everybody's interested in the first part. That's getting people to be able to access the polling place and the ballots, okay, getting them in the right precinct. It's really important to vote in your correct precinct on Election Day. And now, finally, Public Citizen and Common Cause are becoming more interested in, are they counting our votes accurately? This is we're very happy about this. This is a late arrangement here, a late interest of theirs. But wow, I'm telling you, it took it so long. We've talked to them so many times.
How long? How long? How many years?
We've had serious evidence of serious election fraud, electronic fraud, vote flipping. Okay, they call it the strip and the flip. The strip of the voters of their voting rights and the flip of their vote in electronic machines, in central tabulators. This has been going on very seriously since 2000.
Have you spoken with any other organizations in other states that encounter similar problems? Is it maybe a widespread practice? Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah. It's a very widespread. That's why I told you to read the book Code Red by Jonathan Simon and Democracy Lost. I really got it down to like the very few things that you can do. And then go on our website. We've got a couple really, really good videos on our website. We try to put up the really cream of the crop stuff on our website. And it is cleancountcookcounty.org. And then we advocate for better systems as well. So Bill and I were talking about suburban Cook County. Suburban Cook County, under the tutelage of Noah Pretz, who is the election division head, is moving forward with a next generation of election equipment and verification. And Bill was working at the suburban Cook County last when they were using the old equipment.
The Sequoia system. And Chicago has this Sequoia system as well. It's totally getting old. The machines break down all the time.
Let's put it this way. When they bought the Sequoia system, were there other voting machines out there that would have been superior in performance to Sequoia?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we went to the, I believe it was in 2000. It was after, Bush stole his first election in 2000 in Florida against Gore. And there was the big debacle. And then there was really an illegitimate decision on the part of the Supreme Court in that situation. The media went and counted ballots in Florida later after it was all over. And yes, Gore, in fact, had won. And so right there, Bush stole his election. There was a response in 2002 by Congress, and that was the Help America Vote Act, HAVA, H-A-V-A. And that brought in a bunch of new money for electronic voting machines and electronic systems to get rid of the hanging chad, right? They wanted to get rid of that hanging chad. So it brought in a whole bunch of money. And state after state after state, election jurisdiction after election jurisdiction, went to buying these machines. So I believe it was in 2004 that in Chicago and suburban Cook County, they went and they bought the Sequoia systems. I believe it was then. We were there for sure. We went to the county board and we told them all of the problems with the Sequoia system. And we got a few of the county board members to vote against that allocation of money. But we were not able to stop them completely. They're extremely rickety, extremely hackable, and very, we knew that they would wear out easily. We knew that the paper ballots, the toilet paper roll on the side.
It got caught up quite often.
Oh, it was horrible, okay? There was a lot of design error problems with Sequoia. Plus, it is extremely hackable. It's an extremely hackable machine. Chicago still got those. They have gone, the Chicago Board of Elections has gone to the city council and asked for money for new machines. But so far, they haven't got it that I know of. But in Cook County, they have forged ahead and they have bought a whole new system by Dominion Voting System. Now, we did not want this system either. We put a serious pressure on Noah Pretz and David Orr before he left to not get this system and to get what's called ballot on demand. So we want everybody voting on a paper ballot. And there are actual gizmos where somebody who's disabled could use these apparatuses to actually vote a real paper ballot, to fill in little ovals on a paper ballot. Okay, and the only sticker to the only hard part of an all paper ballot system is early voting. So early voting, because they allow everybody to go wherever they want in, the city of Chicago, right? You could go downtown to early vote. You can go in your ward. You can go across town, okay? And they have to have all of these different ballot styles because where I live in the 48th ward, I only get to vote on certain candidates. Somebody else down in the 10th ward gets to vote on a whole different set of candidates. And so they need all these different paper ballots. Well, there's a way of doing that. It's called ballot on demand. And you have a computer that is not hooked up to the internet with all of the ballot styles on the computer attached to a printer, and you print up the paper ballot that you need when you need it. Pretty simple, right? It's called ballot on demand. We don't have to spend these, millions of dollars for these high-tech machines to solve this problem. But Noah and David went and they bought a bunch of new machines for millions of dollars. And so suburban Cook County will see that in, I believe that there's going to be a pilot project in about 170 precincts for the next election in suburban Cook County, which is April 2nd in some of the municipalities. Okay, so in some municipalities like Skokie and many of the others in suburban Cook County, there are municipal elections on April 2nd. And some of you, a very few of the precincts, will see that you have new machines to vote on for early voting and for, I believe, on election day, some of them will be implemented as well. And it looks like a really big cell phone. Looks like a really big cell phone. It's really glossy, okay? And you're going to vote on it, and it's going to print up what looks like a ballot, but it's your choices. So you're going to choose on the machine, then you're going to print up a piece of paper with all of your choices on it. And please, I need you to really read those choices accurately. It's kind of small print, okay? If you're sight challenged, please take, a magnifying glass or something to make sure that you can see this. We're arguing about that. We've even gotten into discussions about that. Can we make that bigger? Can we make it more legible? A piece of paper with your choices will be printed up. Yeah, we want you to look at them, okay? And then you're going to put it in a scanner, and they're going to read it for the scanners. So we're going to kind of approximate an all-paper ballot system in suburban Cook County. I don't know why they wouldn't just give us what we wanted, which was, in fact, an all-paper ballot system. So that's what's going on in suburban Cook County. It will make the audits easier.
But that's what you want. So there is no likelihood that that is what you will get, right?
You have to work on this thing every step of the way. Mm-hmm. You argue every little thing. It's all about processes. It's all about transparency. It's I argue every little process.
Much like the electoral process.
Yeah, much like the electoral process. We really do, because everything in Illinois is slanted towards the incumbents.
Right.
So it's really, we have to argue for everything.
So in order for you to get it, it would have to be the voters lending their voice that they want it, because right now the Chicago Democratic machine under Michael Madigan, they won't allow it. But if there were enough voters that ask for it, the constituents that ask for it, then perhaps the incumbents will have to respond?
Yep. That's exactly right. So that's on our to-do list for voters, is to call your Illinois state rep and state senator and ask them for an all-paper ballot system here in Illinois for everything, and also risk-limiting audits. Okay, those expandable hyper-statistical audits where in our dreams they're projecting these ballots up onto a wall and every citizen can come in and count votes. Okay, that's our dream.
Have you found any likely sponsors of a bill that in the Illinois legislature that could help you with these two items?
We have found sponsors of bills, but the bills are just not going anywhere. The bills just get pulled by Madigan and buried in rules, in the rules committee. So, but what we need are people to call the Illinois reps and the Illinois senators and ask for an all-paper ballot system with risk-limiting audits. Okay, that's what we need for sure. People need to make more noise about this. They need to make more noise. Everybody sits there on election night and they watch their TV and the media tells you, oh, so and so won, and you go, oh, well, darn. Darn
Right.
again. We really don't want you to do that, okay? We
Do you
want
have
you to say to yourself,
We're getting used
I
to that, though.
wonder who really won. Okay? Yeah.
What is the approximate constituency base that you have to call the state senators now, and how many more do you need? Just an approximate guesstimate.
So we have up at Clean Count Cook County about approximately 200 people that are signed up. And maybe about 60 or 70 of them went into an audit with us already. Okay. We feel like when we take you to an audit and a voter into the audit, then you're seeing how the sausage is made. And then you're like, oh, then you're waking up a little bit. Oh, okay. Sausage doesn't look so good. So we like to wake voters up. That's for sure. Okay.
Educate them. Yes.
Educate them. Okay. So we definitely want more people involved at cleancountcookcounty.org. And
How many do you think you will need to ask the state senators or representatives in order for us to actually move this forward? Because we have to secure a goal in order to know how many people would affect state legislators or vote.
Let's say representative, Illinois representative. If an Illinois representative was getting 100 calls or even 200 calls on this issue, we could, all of them, we could move the issue a little bit.
You mean 200 total or 200 per day?
200 total. I would love 200 per day. Oh my God. I think they get like one now.
So is it all calls? Is it letters?
Calls,
personally
letters,
handwritten
personal,
letters?
yeah,
emails?
exactly. Any contact that you can have with your Illinois state rep and state senator on this issue would be really great. So remember, we want an all-paper ballot system, and we want risk-limiting audits. Those are the two things that would really make a difference here, and then about 100,000 little things as well. But saying to your state rep that that Madigan controls the Illinois election code with a fine-tooth comb, and you really resent it. That is not democracy. Would be very, very helpful. Just that statement alone would be very helpful, because they kind of buckle and they just let him do what he wants to do, which is ridiculous. At the end of the sessions in Springfield, Madigan just starts pulling out bills, and you better be voting for these bills, or else you're not going to have a committee position next time, and he'll have a challenger against you. So they just start rubber stamping something fierce.
If the legislature is so afraid of Madigan, then if a bill does get into the legislature, aren't the legislators going to have qualms about voting for it if they're
Absolutely. That's
fearful
why,
about repercussions from
that's why,
mathematics?
That's why I think 200 people calling their Illinois representative and Illinois senator each. I'm talking about each. Okay, so each rep and each senator getting 200 calls about election integrity would be fantastic. That would show that that people are waking up. It's time to end our slavery here. It's time to end our slavery, our incumbency protection racket.
If Michael Madigan's constituents ask him for this, for these two things that you mentioned, would he be able to, would he change? But You don't think so?
Madigan, the number one thing that I think Madigan responds to is pressure from the other reps and senators. Okay, and then bad press. Bad press. He doesn't want to end up to be Burke. He's not going to be making mistakes like Burke did. Okay, so bad press and pressure from the other reps and senators would be very, very helpful.
So the 200 calls per reps and senators and the bad media.
Yeah, the bad media for sure. That's why. So I'll go over what voters can do again, right? They can vote on a paper ballot. That means election day or vote by mail. Number 2, if they see something, they say something on election day, okay? You start by telling the election judges, hey, that's not the way it should go, okay? And then, can we call the election central? Can we call an election supervisor? And if they are not responding, then you can call. You can call the lawyers of Election Protection Lawyers, 866-OUR-VOTE, OURVOTE, 866-OUR-VOTE. And you can drop us a line at cleancountcookcounty.org. You can also ask the lawyers, if it's something really severe, to contact the state's attorney's teams and the attorney general's teams on election day if it's really severe, okay? One thing that the voters always argue about on election day, I've seen it over and over and over again, is I want to vote here. Well, you're not registered here. Your address is at someplace else, and you need to go to this precinct. But I want to vote here, okay? If you are in the wrong precinct on election day, your vote will not be counted, period. No matter how you vote. You will probably vote on a provisional ballot, and it will not be counted. So please go to the correct precinct. It's really, really important. Check your voter registration right now.
It's on your voter registration card. And,
right.
And when you go there, don't let them ask who you're voting for and send you to another one.
That's exactly right. Don't answer any questions about who you're voting for, okay? Don't do that. But check your voting registration and make sure that you know where you should go. That's really important. But don't be telling anybody in the election polling place how you voted or anything like that. If you see campaign-specific information in with the election material.
In the election booths, you mean? The voting booths.
The voting booths. We see little palm cards that are stuck in the voting booth. We see Democratic sample ballots on the table right along with the regular ballot.
Those are the ones they stick on the door with the masking tape.
That is, so if it's if there's information that looks like it's promoting certain candidates, then that is bogus. And you can pull that out of that voting booth and hand it to the election judge and say, get rid of this. Okay?
Isn't it more important to report it so that there's a trail of a case number that there is election fraud going on in that precinct?
What I personally would do is I would take a picture of it in the, let's say you encounter it in the voting booth, okay? There's a Democratic Party sample ballot right there. Take a little picture. Don't take any pictures of voters voting. Don't take any pictures of anybody else. Just take a little picture of that, okay? And then I would get the election judge and get rid of it, okay? And then because if you don't do it, then it may stay there for a long time.
Yes, I serve as an election judge, and I periodically, and my fellow election judges too, we go check in the booths to see if voters have left anything behind, and we often have to go very frequently in order to be able to discard the materials in a timely fashion.
Yeah, there's no question about it. The voters stick it there, and there's no question. Stuff gets stuck in the voting booths. So get the election judges to get rid of it. That's great. If they do that, then fine. That's great. You don't have to go farther than that.
Right.
If you see it, if you're walking past the voting booth and you see it in every voting booth, then we might have an election judge problem, right? So anyways, those are different places that you can go. You can call the election division yourself. You can call the 866-OUR-VOTE number, and you can send us a note on Clean Count Cook County.
Okay.
.org. So see something, say something. If you can, become an election judge. We need well-trained election judges that are there to promote the rules being followed exactly. Okay, that's really important. Become a poll watcher for your favorite candidate. They will have to give you credentials, and they'll do some short training with you. That would be really helpful during the election as well. Sign up with us, cleancountcookcounty.org, to go into the post-election audits. I'd love to take 200 people into Chicago this time. We really want to do it. If you can imagine, we have 11 days, 21 tables that are running each day. Okay, so we need a lot of people.
And you provide the training?
We provide the training. We want you to commit one day. Okay, it is in Chicago. The audits are at their warehouse, and that is at Pershing Road and Damon. Pershing Road and Damon. We'll tell you'll get an email, how to sign up for a specific day, some training videos, and also what to bring. And we really, really, really need a lot of people to shine some light on that. We want you to call your U.S. Congress people, both your rep and your 2 senators, about our H.R. 1. We want you to push H.R. 1 on the federal level. We're going to go ahead and push it. We don't, we're not hopeful that it's going to pass Mitch McConnell and get signed by Trump, but we do want to push it, okay? And you can call the governor. Illinois is part of the national popular vote. Okay, and that means that we want to circumvent the Electoral College next time. Mm-hmm. We haven't even talked about the macro election fraud. The Electoral College is absolutely fraud. It's fraudulent. It was born on the back of slavery, and it was so that to maintain slavery. That's why we have the Electoral College, and it is totally bogus. Each state gets 2 senators. So even non-populous states already have a built-in some advantage. Okay, some advantage. So Wyoming gets 2 states and New York 2 senators, and New York gets 2 senators, and there's a wide difference in their population. We don't need that same thing recurring for the presidential election as well. We already have one unit of government that has a very serious slant towards what I call property rights. Okay, it's about land mass and not about population. So the president should be voted on and elected by popular vote. Period, and not by the Electoral College. And so that's called the National Popular Vote. We have signed on to it here in Illinois, and we have to get more states signed on to it, or else it's not valid. So talking to your friends, looking it up, the National Popular Vote, and talking to your friends in other states would be very helpful. That's another really good government, pro-democracy thing that people can do. So all those things, those are good recommendations, right? That's a pile of stuff that citizens can do to help protect their elections.
Are there any other organizations in other states similar to Cook County?
Yeah, absolutely. There's an Election Defense Alliance, and that is a conglomeration of many, many different election protection groups. Election protection groups actually work better on a local level. They really do. Mm-hmm. So that people can get in there and get to know their election officials, what the processes are. So we would love an election protection group for Lake County, for McHenry County, for DuPage County, for, we would like that it very, very seriously, okay? Illinois Ballot Integrity is Illinois Ballot Integrity, and they are at ballot-integrity.org. They are another election integrity group here in Illinois, and they do work more with Kane County and DuPage County. Okay. In fact, a member of the Illinois Ballot Integrity Project just was elected the clerk in DuPage County. Gene Kazmarek. Did you know that? That's great. We want election integrity activists to be elected clerks of not what happened in Cook County. So the new clerk of Cook County is Karen Yarborough. And who is she? Who's Karen Yarborough? She was a representative, and she is the second lieutenant under Madigan at the state Democratic Party.
What is Gene Casimir able to do in his position as clerk of King County?
Oh, it's a clerk of DuPage County.
DuPage, I'm sorry.
A clerk has an enormous amount of control over whether and the elections are going to be full of integrity or not. Enormous amount. And we see the difference under David Orr's clerkship and Noah Pretz, who is the head of the election division in suburban Cook County. It was fairly clean. We went in there and we could not see where they were finagling things. You go into Chicago Board of Elections and even untrained eyes can figure out that these people are hiding stuff. It's like day and night. It's like day and night. Okay. So we're not really happy about Karen Yarborough being the clerk of suburban Cook County. So far, we haven't seen any evidence of severe wrongdoing, but we have our eyes wide open. We are not, we would have preferred an election integrity activist to be the clerk of suburban Cook County, for sure. And we passed petitions for 4 other candidates that were running for that position against Karen Yarborough. Every single one of them got thrown off the ballot in the ballot wars. Every single one of them.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Lora Chamberlain of Clean Count, Chicago, for discussing voter fraud and election fraud and what our students and our community could do about it to address these issues. And also thank you, Bill Morton, president of the Rogers Park Chamber and a former employee of the Cook County Board of Elections, for your insight on the matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.